Hello everybody and welcome back. And in this week's video we're going to read we're going to carry on with what we are looking at the angels and who they really were and why they were put in this position in the Bible. So we're going to read Jude 6th verse once again to understand he is talking about in this verse. So we see why he's been given as a warning to us from God. So let's read that verse right now. So we're going to read Jude 6th verse right now. And angels who did not keep their position of authority but abandoned their proper dwelling, he has kept in darkness, bound with everlasting chains for judgment on the great day. So we can understand that it's talking about the judgment of the great day and how they've been put in everlasting chains. And we can see the angels here are clearly written, just like in 2 Peter 4th and 5th verse, where it talks about the angels in the period of Noah before the first flood and their instant of what they did as a mistake, and they've been put in these everlasting chains, we can understand, in a pit of darkness. So to understand what it's really talking about and what does it mean to not keep their position of authority from now on, we can read now Hebrews 2nd chapter 5th verse. Let's read that right now. So we can get the verse of Hebrews 2nd chapter 5th verse, and it says, "It is not to angels that he has subjected the world to come, but about which we are speaking. But there is a place where someone has testified." So we can understand here Apostle Paul is clearly speaking about the God's kingdom is yet to come, and in the millennium, of course, and he's not going to provide authority to the angels yet. As we know in John 14th chapter 30th verse, in the current world Satan is the one who has the provision to rule. So initially we can understand during the period before the first world, we can clearly understand, it's come to clear to us that the angels had the authority to rule the world at that point before the first world. But because of a sin they must have committed, the angels have been put in this position so that they do not have the position to rule. As it's quite obvious to infer this from this point, as let's say I'm a person and I'm saying to a person who was a leader that from now on you're not the leader of this country. That would mean that they were the leader but now they are not. In the same case for the angels here. So now I hope everyone's clear on understanding about this. As we can understand that what the angels have done now, we can first see. So the angels were committed to supervision, we can understand. As the angels had this position, of course, we know now. So they were committed to do supervision for mankind and prior, so they could uplift the humanity. But rather, what the angels had done, they had spoiled the divine arrangement and did the actions of just like the adversary had done, the mistake and the wrongdoing, as they had committed and spoiled the divine nature of the human beings and arrangement and caused severe problems and the first flood to take place. As we can understand, they had that position of authority to supervise the people and basically uplift of humanity, but they spoiled the divine arrangement and they did the same thing as the wrongdoing as the adversary in the Eden Garden to Adam through Eve, just like that adversary did. So now we can read about what the angels had really did in more detail in Genesis 6th chapter. So let's read that now. So we go to Genesis 6th chapter. So we can read in Genesis 6th chapter. We're going to read the first two. We're going to read the first to 6th verse today. So let's read that right now. So it says, "When human beings began to increase in number on the earth, and the daughters were born to them, the sons of God saw that the daughters of humans were beautiful, and they married any of them they chose. Then the Lord said, my spirit will not contend with humans forever, for they are mortal. Their days will be 120 years. The Nephilim were on earth in those days, and also afterward, when the sons of God went to the daughters of humans, and he had children by them. They were heroes of old men and of renown. The Lord saw how great the wickedness of the human race had become on the earth, and that every inclination of the thoughts of the human heart was only evil all the time. The Lord regretted that he had made human beings on earth, and his heart was deeply troubled. So we'll go into this in more detail next week. So see you then. Bye. And I hope everyone now has a clear understanding about what the angels had done. They had a position of authority to guide and uplift the humanity at one point before the first flood, but they lost this position of authority for causing to reduce the divine arrangement and lose the divine arrangement that God had took place, and did the wrongdoing like the adversary had once done to Adam through Eve. So that's all for today. See you next time, and we'll go through more detail about the angels and what they had committed and why and what were the causes of this. See you next time. Bye.